KHOU 11 News at 4 starts now.
Welcome to the news at 4. We are live on the air and on KHOU.com. We've got a lot developing right now.
Yes, right now, Harris County Sheriff's deputies are on the hunt for robbers. 4 of them breaking into a home in Tomball this morning.
The entire family who lives in the home on Greenprint Circle was tied up, including the kids, while the crooks stole their money.
And Matt Doherty is now live in that neighborhood. And Matt, what a frightening day for that family. What can you tell us?
Yeah, this story certainly sounds very terrifying. It happened in this quiet neighborhood at a house on the corner. Take a look at this video. This is when we got here earlier today, where you can see some of those investigators trying to piece together what happened nearly 6 hours later. Now, they tell us they got the call just before 7:30 in the morning. The entire family that lives here had been tied up, the parents and their 2 kids. Deputies say the husband was forced to give them in cash before they tied him up. Then they took off. Somehow, the wife managed to break free and called 911. Now, we tried to speak with 2 of the people who were inside the home, but they didn't want to talk with us. Those 4 suspects still haven't been caught. Now, the men were reportedly driving a black Range Rover. Of course, if you see that vehicle out here in Northwest Harris County, or you have any information, you're asked to call police right away. We're live in Tomball. Standing for Houston, Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.
Thank you, Matt. And more developing news now. A man in Harris County has died from West Nile virus. He is the first person to die of the virus in the state of Texas this year. The Harris County Public Health Department saying the victim did have some underlying chronic health conditions. He was between the ages of 45 and 54. He lived in the southwest part of Harris County, and 6 people have contracted the virus in Houston this year. Health officials with a warning today. West Nile season running through October. More than 300 mosquito samples have tested positive for the virus. On KHOU.com, we've got a list of the symptoms, how to protect your home from becoming a breeding ground for mosquitoes. And coming up at 4:30, we'll speak to a West Nile expert on what all of this means and how careful do you really need to be.
And a live look outside. Wet on the roads. Blake Matthews joining us this afternoon. Blake, tracking some scattered thunderstorms. So what's that going to mean for people tonight?
Well, if you're up on the north side, it means a wet commute home. We have a flash flood warning in effect for areas along the north belt near Bush Intercontinental Airport. That is until 5 o'clock. We've had upwards of 3 inches of rainfall in a very short period of time. We've also got rain pushing up through the Woodlands and Conroe, getting out towards Magnolia just to the south of 105. These are pushing up towards Lake Conroe, and a nasty thunderstorm there in southern Grimes County could be producing a little bit of hail there, so heads up there. Here on the southwest side of town, Fort Bend County, a few scattered showers still in progress, but all in all, should be a fairly quiet evening, but rain chances going up in a big way. I'd plan for a washout weekend. Your full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, sir. Big story right now developing at 4. The parents of the accused gunman in the Santa Fe school shooting are speaking out now as they face 2 separate wrongful death lawsuits. They're being sued for negligence by the family of some of the 10 people killed, who claim the parents did not recognize signs of trouble in their son. In an exclusive sit-down interview with KHOU 11 News, the attorney representing Antonios Pagorchis and Rosemarie Cosmatatos say those allegations are not true. Ron Rogers says the shotgun and .38 revolver used in the shooting had been locked up in a gun cabinet. Rogers says the alleged shooter was able to get his hands on the guns after stealing a key to that cabinet. Under Texas gun storage laws, weapons must be kept locked up and away from children under 17. But since the suspect was 17, Rogers says there was no criminal wrongdoing.
Like within the statute, if he was 16 or under, I still don't believe my clients would be subject to that statute, as the guns were locked up and they were secured.
Ron Rogers says whatever problems the suspect was dealing with, he did hide it from everyone. The families in the civil suits are seeking $1 million in damages. Attorneys for the families were unavailable for comment.
Let's get you up to date now on that deadly workplace shooting in Maryland. At least 3 people were killed at the Rite Aid Pharmacy Distribution Center just northeast of Baltimore. More people were injured. Suspect is in custody, wounded and in critical condition. We are updating this story on the KHOU 11 app.
And developing today, the sex abuse allegations against local priest Father Manuel La Rosa Lopez has led investigators now to search at least 2 churches he worked for. The priest last week was arrested.
And that case and another recent one has shed light on how the Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston handles sex abuse claims against its clergy members.
And Jessica Borg is now following up on that. She is live with that part of the story. Jessica.
The Archdiocese has said in the case of the teenage girl back in 2001, it reported her sex abuse claims to CPS, Children Protective Services. It says it did the same exact thing last month when a now adult male came forward saying he was also a victim when he was a teen. Now, Texas law mandates that anyone who suspects or receives a report of a minor being abused is obligated to bring that to the attention of CPS or to law enforcement. But prosecutors say in particular cases, the most efficient way is to report those claims directly to law enforcement. CPS, a state agency, mainly handles cases that involve households, such as family members of a minor. It is not clear why the Archdiocese would report claims of sex abuse by a priest to CPS and not to police, a constable, or sheriff's deputy. Today, the Archdiocese wouldn't answer that question or address if their protocols will change moving forward. In an email to us, it stated it is cooperating fully with authorities and couldn't comment any further. Now, CPS says calling them is better than not making any call at all, but that there are clear cases outside their jurisdiction.
Typically, we do not investigate clergy, religious leaders, priests, again, unless they are the guardian or custodial caregiver of a child.
Now, CPS says it does turn over criminal conduct cases outside their jurisdiction to the proper authorities. However, the Montgomery County DA telling us some cases do fall through the cracks. Now, authorities have said they couldn't verify that a CPS report was ever even made by the Archdiocese in one of those cases. We have new information on that, and that's coming up in a live report at 6 this evening. For now, live in South Houston, Jessica Borg, KHOU 11 News.
And right now, Ivanka Trump is at the Johnson Space Center in Clear Lake. There she is, visiting with NASA personnel and astronauts. The first daughter touring the human spaceflight facilities at JSC. She's also meeting with some local high school students who are designing a robot. You'll see more of her visit in our later newscasts.
And we're tracking thunderstorms there on the north side up near Bush Intercontinental Airport, seeing some ground delays there, especially right now. So if you're headed up there, heads up, you've got big delays. Hey, you know what? We're also tracking a cold front coming up in your full forecast. What does that mean? All that and more coming up right after the break.